days post-op after getting an open septorhinoplasty with Transform, and I can honestly say without a doubt that was the most fucking terrifying thing I have ever done in my whole life. Not lying. I would easily recommend Transform to anyone, but honestly I would not recommend getting a rhinoplasty to anyone who wants this one. Like, honestly, I'm not having fun right now. But yeah, today is the 14th of July and I had my operation on the 9th of July, so 5 days ago. So I'm just gonna try and tell you about what happened from checking into the hospital to leading up to my surgery to getting it done, and then what happened these past 5 days and how I've been coping with this on my face. It's not a pretty sight. But yeah, on the 9th of July I had to get to the Riverside Hospital, which is in London, at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the actual hospital is about 2 hours away from where I live. So I left to go at 7 o'clock in the morning, and me and my mum had no idea where we were going or anything. We actually got there at 9:30, but we could have got there earlier, but we took the wrong turning and we ended up going straight back onto the M3, M4 something. So we took an extra 20 minutes because we couldn't work out how to turn around and come back again. But yeah, we got there about 9:30 and I had to sign in and read a little booklet about what to expect, and then I'm really locked up. This nurse came and collected me, and my mum and my brother had to be dragged along as well because we couldn't leave them at home. But they stayed in the waiting area, and so I went straight through, and this nurse left me with a few pages of paperwork that I needed to read and just check what was happening. There was a menu that I needed to tick off of food I wanted to eat, and she left me with she left me with my hospital gown, which was not flattering, if I say the least. There was a see-through knickers, basically pants. Yeah, this hospital gown, so very, very tight socks that come up to your knees, and a hat that I didn't have to put on until later. They told me I needed to bring my own dressing gown and slippers, but they complained that my dressing gown was too woolly, so they gave me their own one, which was clean, thankfully. But this is what I looked like. Obviously, I was enjoying myself then. Not so much in about 2 hours time, but yeah, this is what I look like. When the nurse left me with all the list, so she was like, right, you need to put that on and you need to read over the paperwork. So I was like, okay. She left, so I was like, right, I'm gonna read the paperwork first because that's probably the most important. So I sat down in the little chair that like puffed up when I sat in it, which was very surprising. But I sat reading it, read through it, and then another nurse came in and she was like, you're not dressed yet? I was like, no, I was just reading this. She was like, come on, you need to get dressed. So she literally made me take off my top, made me take off my trousers in front of her, and she literally dressed me. So I did not ask for that, but she was like, right, take off your top, take off your bra. And the actual gown is see-through anyway, so that was not fun, but yeah, I got dressed into my lovely hospital stuff, and this is when, like, she went over all the little sheets with me and the menu and stuff, and when that was done she let my mum and brother come in. Basically from that point, that was about 10:30 I'd say, so for about an hour and a half I just sat there watching the TV, and nurses kept on coming in and they would check my blood pressure. Dr. Lahoud came in as well just to double check what he was doing with me, so he sat down and said, right, I'm doing a Septorhinoplasty. He said that I was his third, so there was someone before me, someone he'd already done, and there was actually twins getting rhinoplasties done as well after me, so I was just thinking that must be interesting if he does one slightly different to the other one. They're obviously going to notice, but yeah, so I was third. The anaesthesist came in as well, and he just went over what he'd have to do. I'll tell you in a minute, but getting a needle in your hand when you've never done that before is not a fun experience. I don't know if you probably won't be able to tell, I don't even know if that's in shot, but I have 2 holes in my hand with 2 lovely bruises. It hurt. But I was like, okay, I've never had anaesthetic, whatever, I've never had a cannula, I don't know, so a needle in my hand before. So I was like, is it possible to have some numbing cream, please? She was like, yeah, that's fine, I'll go and find some for you. So this nurse put on a massive dollop of cream on my hand and put a plaster on, and also put some on this bit of my arm, which was never actually used, but she put some on my arm, and I don't know how long that numbing cream was meant to be on for, but let me tell you, when I woke up from surgery, it was still on my arm. I'll get into that, but I was not very pleased. So yeah, I had the numbing cream on, and then it was 10 to 12, and 2 nurses came in with a table, and they were like, right, it's time, and I was like, holy shit. So I was like, bye mum. They just made me chuck on my hat. I can't remember really, I think they maybe signed something else. And then they just took me. So I had to leave all my stuff. I didn't even have time to tell like my friends that I was like, I had my phone on me, I was fine. I was like, I couldn't tell them, right, it's time to go in, I'll see you in like 2 hours. That was it, they just took me. So I went with this lady down the hall into the lift, and she was just, I think she was trying to calm me down, but at this point it still didn't even feel real. I was panicking inside, but I was fine. But she was just asking me like, where had I come from, like how long did it take me to come. After that she led me into this room, and it was just a room with 1 chair in the middle, so she told me to sit down, and she basically asked me the exact same question again, so I was like, yeah, okay, it took me 2 hours, alright. At this point I was like feeling my hand, and I was like, fuck, I can still feel my hand. This is not what I want to be feeling right now. So I was panicking at this point, because I was like, okay, this is gonna hurt. But yeah, the anaesthetic came in, and he was like, right, take off your dressing gown. So I was like, great, see through. You can see my boobs basically. So I had to walk into the room and lie on the table with my boobs on show. It's open at the back, so my see-through knickers could show my bum. I had to take the slippers off, so I went into the room and I lay on the table. And I thought this was scary. Just wait. But I lay down, and then all I could see was 3 people over me. There was the anaesthetist, and I don't even know if that's a word. The person doing the anaesthetic on my left. There was a guy on the right, and then there was a lady just in front of me. So she was doing my blood pressure. She was lifting my legs to put it like to rest them on something so they were above. The guy, I don't know what the guy was doing. Oh, he pulled down my dressing gown. I was like, okay. He pulled that down and stuck something onto my collarbone, I think. And then he lifted my gown up and he stuck something on my ribs. And then point I was panicking because there was like people everywhere in my face. But then the anaesthetic guy put the fucking needle in my hand. I was like, right. Oh, they were like, oh, did you feel anything? I was like, yeah. It was literally, it was a scratch, like what you feel in a normal injection, but it was like kind of 3 times as worse. So I was like, okay, that's over, like that hurt, but I did it. The numbing cream obviously didn't work. And let me, like, just remind you that there was cream here and cream on my arm. So I was like, okay, I've done it, right? And he was like, oh, well, that hasn't really worked, I'm not happy with that. So he took it out, and he started doing that on my hand, which hurt because he just made a fucking hole in my hand. And he did it again, except the cream was here, and he put the needle on the side. So there was literally nothing on my hand to stop me from pain. And he put it in, and this was like 10 times as worse than the last one. It's like, okay, I got over the scratch, like, ow, but then, like, he obviously had to stick it down onto my hand, but it literally felt like he was holding, like, if the needle was here in my skin, he was like pressing down here to stick it on my hand, and like, oh, I honestly can't explain the pain, but I don't know if that's meant to happen, but I was not happy about that, and it fucking hurt. But yeah, that was over, and then the guy behind me here put an oxygen mask on because I was obviously panicking, so he was like, right, fucking breathe and breathe the oxygen in. So I was doing that, and then the anaesthetic guy was like, okay, it's gonna feel cold or whatever, you might feel a sharp sting in your arm. And I honestly didn't feel anything after the palaver in my hand, but all I remember, the last thing I fucking said was, are you going to take the cream off my arm? He was like, yeah, I'll take it off. No, didn't. So I was left with the cream on my arm. Oh, by the way, it had like burst on my way to getting to the room, so there was cream going all over the gown. Cream, like, I was like sticking to me, and they didn't clean it up, so I'm not happy about that. But yeah, all I remember feeling was I was getting very, very lightheaded, and I could feel my eyes closing, but I was trying to keep them open, so I was like, hello, I'm still awake, don't operate on me yet, like, please don't do anything yet. But I don't remember closing my eyes at all, I don't remember drifting off. I literally just remember saying, are you gonna, like, can you please take the cream off my arm? And yeah, that was it until I woke up. And holy shit, let me fucking tell you, I think I had a panic attack. No word of a lie, I honestly think I had a panic attack. I woke up and it was all blurry and I couldn't keep my eyes open. But I just remember feeling this massive, massive pressure on my nose. So I honestly woke myself up because I was trying to breathe through my nose and I couldn't. So I was breathing through my mouth, and that was really dry. But then I was trying to swallow, and because they put packs in your nose, I was swallowing and there was something at the back of my throat, so it was like it was stopping what I was swallowing going down. So I literally, I don't know what happened, but I literally, how many times can I say literally? I started panicking and I was like, oh my god, I can't breathe, oh my god, I can't swallow, like, oh, my throat hurts. And there were these 2 nurses, one either side of me, and they were trying to calm me down, and they were like, drink some water, so they were like force feeding me through a straw some water, and I honestly, I felt like I couldn't swallow it, and I was trying to cough it, and I remember lying down and trying to put my head up, like, I was just trying to break free, because I just felt so, like, I don't know, I honestly can't explain it, but it is the most terrifying thing I have ever gone through in my life, was waking up from that surgery. But I just remember them, I'm gonna cry in a minute, but I just remember them saying, we'll take you back into your room in a minute, like you have to stay in, I was in the recovery room at this point, so you have to stay in there for like half an hour. But I remember just trying to tell myself in my head, like, I will get used to it, it's just a shock, because you've just woken up and you knew you couldn't breathe out your nose, so just try and relax. Like, you know there's packing in the back of your throat, you know you can't swallow. Like, you're honestly just making such a massive big deal out of it. But, oh, I was shaking uncontrollably at this point. Like, when I was trying to drink from the straw, like, honestly, my arms were, like, oh, it was just horrible. But from this point, I don't remember that half an hour going by, so I don't know how long I was asleep for. But after that, they wheeled me back to my room, and that was horrible because they obviously didn't really, you know where doors are, there's a little like bump on the floor. Like when they were wheeling my my bed along the corridor and stuff, they didn't really take care going over the little door bumps, because every time I went over one, my head just, like my nose just went boom, boom, and it was horrible. But yeah, I that's all I remember going through the corridor, and then I got to my room and I had to sit up and like move myself from that bed back onto my bed, which was really difficult because like it honestly feels like you are so drunk. Like you lean up to get up, and my head was like rolling around, like I couldn't move properly. But I managed to get onto my bed, and then I was just sat there shaking uncontrollably, and then I started crying because in my head I was like, why have I done this to myself? Well, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to go through this for like 2 weeks. So I scared myself so much, and I didn't think it would be that. It's obviously not that horrible for other people, but for me, because I've never gone through surgery and I've never been under anaesthetic, I didn't know what to expect. So all I remember at this point is shaking and crying, and I was terrified of what I'd just done. But a nurse came in and did my blood pressure again, and then they put these ice packs over my eyes, which were basically gloves filled with water, which were tied together here, and so they were like draped across my cheeks. But they meant to stay on for half an hour, so they kept doing that for like the rest of that day and the next day before I left. But I just found them really annoying. Like, I didn't want them on my face at all, even though they're meant to help. I didn't want them. But yeah, at this point, my mum came in and my brother, so they were allowed back in. And I couldn't see them because I had these gloves on my face. But it was just fucking terrifying. But this is when I just started calming down, and when they took the gloves off, they brought me my lunch. This is at 2 o'clock, like 3 o'clock I think. 3 o'clock I had my gloves taken off, so 2 o'clock I was finished being operated on. So it took about 2 hours. But yeah, none of this. I had a sandwich for lunch, but none of the actual fillings I liked. So I had tuna and pickle, but luckily I couldn't taste any of that. But yeah, I had a tuna and pickle sandwich, and I managed to break little bits off, but it was just so much pressure on my face that I felt I couldn't open my mouth. Yeah, after that, it all calmed down. Like that was the worst part over, I think. I hope nothing worse happens, but yeah, the rest of that day, like, nurses kept on coming in every like hour or so, just to either do my blood pressure or put more gloves on my face. But I just left the TV on. I was watching Love Island, Family Guy. I had 101 Dalmatians on at one point, and I had my dinner, which was jack potato, beans and cheese, which was really nice. The only thing was I had ice cream with it as well, but they brought it out at the same time, so I felt like I had to like shove down the jacket potatoes so that the ice cream wouldn't be melted by the time I wanted it. But the ice cream was so good on my throat, oh my god. But yeah, that was basically the rest of that day. I remember keeping on asking for painkillers, because my nose hurt. But yeah, the next, like, my parents had to go at 9 o'clock, but I was alright by myself, I think. 9 o'clock was Love Island. But the next day, all I remember thinking was, oh, I haven't even told you. When I woke up, have I told you? Have I told you? I don't know. But when I woke up, yeah, the cream was still on my arm. So in between like panicking and like trying to breathe and stuff, I was like, can you fucking take the fucking cream off my arm, please? So the lady did that for me. But yeah, right, next day. I knew this was packing removal day. Yeah. Right, the nurse came in at 7 o'clock and had a little tray of bits for me, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. So I was like, is this going to hurt? And the nurse said, no. What a fucking liar. Right, she was like, right, take a drink first. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a drink. She put a bowl in front of me, took hold of one of them with her little tweezers, and just pulled, and I swear it kept on going for about 20 seconds. It was obviously not, but it just felt like it never ended. But oh, I can't describe it, but it hurt. It was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like it was tearing. Like, obviously I've had stuff done to my septum, so where it was like tight and it was being pulled, it just felt like sandpaper, not sand. I don't know how to describe it, but it hurt. It hurt basically. So she did that one, and I was like, oh my god, I have to do that again. And then she did the second one, and that was just as bad. But after she'd done that, I could still feel the pain, like when I got home at the end of that day. Like the pain didn't go. So the pain from that was worse than waking up with all the like pressure on my nose. Like this was the first point where I was like, okay, it actually hurts. But yeah, that happened, and really it was just eating breakfast and checking. What did I do? Oh, I had to wait for the doctor for ages, but he had to give me like my pills, and he didn't really tell me a lot, to be honest. They left me with my socks on. I was like, how long am I meant to have these on for? So he was like, oh yeah, 2 to 3 days. If I hadn't asked that, I would have taken them off straight away. So that's not good. But yeah, glad I asked that. But it was about 9:30, I'd say. I was done. I'd gone out of there. So yeah, have I forgotten anything, or is that it? I think that's it. But that was done. So I got home, and this was, I think, the worst my face was. Oh, I haven't even put any pictures in. So this was. There's music outside. You're ruining my video. Thank you. This was me. This was the first picture I took after surgery. So obviously you can see I've been crying because my eyes like wet or whatever. There's not really any swelling. This is about 2 hours later. I don't know what pictures I'm going to put in because I've taken loads, but this is when I got home the next day. So this was really when my swelling was at its worst. So yeah, all my eyes were like really, really puffy, and like it felt like the tear ducts had like been stretched or like pulled, and then my eyelids were like in the way, so I couldn't open my eyes properly. So that was interesting. But yeah. When I was at the thingy, the nurses came in to change this as well, because obviously there was a lot of bleeding. So this was one of them when it was at its worst. So yeah, that was a lot of blood. This is basically just, like, I'm not bleeding anymore. This is just there, just in case. And I don't really like looking at the tip of my nose because at the moment I look like a pig, to be honest. This is what I look like without this. And to be honest, if it stays like that when I get my split taken off, I am not going to be happy. So I'm just trying to not look at it at the moment because it's making me upset. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so these past 5 days have not been bad. Oh, yes they were. Tuesday, so the day after I came home, I woke up and I was like, okay, my nose hurts, so I took some painkillers, and then I was like, I feel really sick, and then I threw up. So I threw up my painkillers, and I was like, I probably shouldn't take any more, but my nose hurts, so I was I felt sick for the rest of the day, and my nose was hurting because I hadn't had proper painkillers in me, but I had to wait. So I tried eating some strawberry mousse for breakfast, and I threw that up. So I was being sick the second day. I called Transform called me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting sick. Should this be happening? And they were like, no, you need to stop taking your painkillers. I was like, no. They said I could take paracetamol instead, but they wouldn't be as strong. But what I did instead was just take one painkiller rather than two, and it's been working. I haven't been sick since, haven't felt sick. But yeah, that wasn't very nice to be feeling sick and getting sick and having all this going on. But yeah, after that, like the last 3 days, 2 days or whatever, I've just been playing Kingdom Hearts and watching Love Island and watching Family Guy, and I've just been eating I've been eating like sandwiches for lunch, and then I've made like noodles for dinner and chicken casserole, which is basically just mash and gravy. So I've tried to eat soft foods and stuff, but I have been eating like what have I eaten? I've eaten like some crisps and like cucumber, so I am trying to eat different textures as well, just so I can get used to eating properly again. You can't eat spicy food, which is really sad because I really fancy a curry right now. And they said don't eat garlic 48 hours before the operation. So I'm not really sure if I'm meant to be eating garlic now because it thins your blood, and so the blood clots don't really happen and blood goes everywhere. So I'm trying to still stay away from that as well. I haven't been drinking caffeine, I've just been drinking water and juice. Don't do it like a confused face because that hurts. What was I going to say? You can't drink tea. Your throat really hurts as well when you... Not hurts. Like, it hurt for the first 2 days because of the thing down the throat. But when I could swallow properly, that went. So it's just really, really dry in the mornings where I can't breathe out my nose because I've just been breathing out my mouth the whole night. So make sure you drink a lot. Yeah, that's about it really. Yeah, I'm getting my cast off in 3 days, so the 17th of July, so I'll bring you back with an update. I'm not scared about getting this off, but I am scared about getting my stitches out because I've heard that is the most painful part. And if that's more painful than getting the packs out or my hand, I'm not going to be happy. Well, my camera just shut off on me, but I'm one of those people who wash their hair every day, so if I can't wash my hair, then I'm not a happy person. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I'll be back, I think, when I get my cast off. And I'll try and update you, like, when my nose is healed a bit. So yeah, I'll see you then.